Hey, welcome back for another social distancing party. This time we're unplugged. We changed the name a little bit because we realized dancing can't actually happen as easily on social media as an unplugged version of some music that we have. So we are so excited about being back here today. I've got Gary Scott Thomas from the Country Morning Show of 95.3 KRTY back again. And then we have a guy with a microphone in his hand who's coming on soon. His name is Raffi, King Raffi. He is
so maybe it's not
Raffi.
A microphone. Maybe it's a scepter.
Oh, King Raffi is back for another. Aha.
Who?
Hello.
Okay. What's the story about? Why do you have nunchucks?
I don't know. I just found them. I have no idea. It's like, you go on in life and you keep certain things, and somehow randomly these popped up. I think maybe it was last night I was having a dream I was Bruce Lee, just a fat version of him.
There is no way you could go through my house and find ever anything as cool as nunchucks. It's not going to happen.
You bring nunchucks, I bring biofreeze. But, whatever floats your boat.
Oh, sure. Whatever floats my boat. If anyone gets out of line today, I'm going to personally, socially distantly beat you.
Do nunchucks have a 6-foot distance? I mean, can you do a nunchuck from 6 feet?
What do you think? You know what? I'm probably going to hurt myself. Let me see.
God, let's hope that's going to make the show if that happens.
Yeah. Are you recording this? Because if I do hurt myself, it'll make great like TikTok or something.
That's it. It's like, oh my God, did you hear what happened to King Raffi? Oh no, is it the COVID virus? No, he nunchucked himself to death.
He's in the hospital. And it's live. You'll see the paramedics pulling me out of this place.
It's on YouTube. There's 37 million hits so far.
There's animated GIFs on this.
We can all retire.
Exactly right. The idea of what people, especially now, I cannot imagine what the streaming numbers like, because we can talk about Netflix and stuff like that, and we can talk about the Tiger King if you want to. I'm not quite sure about the whole Tiger King. Now, I knew this story before it became a miniseries. I had seen, I watch a lot of true crime stories around here. And so I had seen the story about the Tiger King and the fact that Netflix has turned it into a series. What I find fascinating, and I don't know if either of you guys have seen it, what I find fascinating is how polarizing it is. Yeah. There is no meh, there isn't. It's either this is the wildest, coolest thing I've ever seen in my life, or I want all of those hours back.
What's interesting is Courtney actually toured the Big Cat Rescue with I can't remember her name, Barbara, I think. And so she toured that place and got a chance to see her a year before they recorded the entire Netflix show. And so she had the whole tour where they showed her exactly what they do with the cats and why they need open preserve and all of this stuff. And that was still about 10 years after her husband disappeared. So I'm really thankful my wife is still with me.
but you know who to call. I mean, I'm just saying, and there's a reason nobody found anything. The cats eat. So, but now, did you say that, Brian? Have you watched it?
I watched the whole thing.
And because it's either which way are you going?
So I'm home a lot these days, and I really feel like there's not much to watch. So there's not much to watch. So had I been home or not been as home as much as I am now, I don't know if I would have seen it or really poured myself into it. But now that I have all this time on my hands, I think it was really, really interesting that this actually goes on in America. I mean, it was just like, wow, I cannot believe that this actually happened. I don't know. Have you seen it?
No, I haven't seen it.
Which way are you going?
It's on my Netflix queue
these days.
So we'll see at some point. We'll have to, but like I said, I've heard from so many different people who either love it or they hate it. And I thought maybe later in the show we can think about this. You've watched The Tiger King. What's some things that you would recommend? One or two recommendations. Maybe all of us could do a recommendation of what we're watching, what we enjoy watching, because we're all in this boat together, where we're all struggling to bide our time. And I hope we're biding our time after we're productive. Do something. If you've ever thought, maybe today I'll do 10 sit-ups, you got time. Let's do that, and then watch The Tiger King. So try to stay a little productive. But then I thought, okay, and then maybe we can get back to what we're doing as far as some recommendations, what we'd like to see, because there's a lot of different stuff. And I've had so many people sit back and go, I'm watching this, or I'm watching that, or I'm finally getting around to the Game of Thrones. Or I'm not. But I'm just saying, I had a friend of mine tell me that the other day. He's like, I'm going to start watching Game of Thrones. And I'm like, it's 70 hours. He goes, so what? That's a week now.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Well, hey, Gary, if it, my wife is really into this IDTV stuff. Are you into that whole thing? The whole, how people knock each other off and stuff like that?
And what's amazing to me is how, obviously the good ones don't get caught, right?
Right.
But how truly stupid some people are. It's just, and these are people, they're from all walks of life. They're doctors. They're hedge fund managers. It's not like it's Cleotis at the oil change center. It's not that. It's there's a lot of things going on, and it's amazing how people honestly think they're going to get away with it, and that's why. Well, and again, the good ones, they're not shows about, right?
Right.
They've been caught. So we only got the people who we caught.
Well, let me tell you something. My wife and I joke about this all the time. I always go through and see which ones she's watched, and I'll go back and maybe scan through them and go, okay, let's see. What did they do in this one? How did they knock this guy off? Let me think here. Note. Boy, my food tastes different today. How is this possible?
and sometimes it works. There was the lady in Alabama. That's where I'm from, y'all.
Yes.
And she literally poisoned 3 of her husbands by poisoning their food.
Ooh.
Three times.
And he lived.
3 different guys.
No.
Oh, they all died. Each one of them died.
The last one stayed alive long enough that they figured out he had been poisoned. But the other guys, they had to dig up and go, oh yeah, they were poisoned. Wow, we missed that. Wow, who knew?
You know what? Hey, Gary, I should, and Brian, I should say this. I'm happily married. So if something happens to me, you'll know that I'm happily married, and if something strange happens, I'm not implying anything, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, we're going to find you in a pool of blood surrounded by nunchucks.
Well, the Tiger King, Joe Exotic, has the coronavirus. He's sitting in jail right now, and he's got coronavirus.
For real?
For real.
Well, how many they literally are releasing thousands of prisoners here in California. I know, and around, because what do? You can't house people together. It's such a crazy time. It's so weird. And of course, today we just got the notice that when you go outside, if you go to the grocery store, they would like you to wear a mask, even if it's just and you can order mask, or if you have an old T-shirt, you can make a mask out of your old T-shirt or stuff like that. Or you can do that. And you can either do that and safely shop, or end up on the ID channel. And do your best Joe Exotic. Okay. It's an interesting time right now. But Hey, here in the Bay Area, I can't talk to the rest of you in the rest of the world of the country. But here in the Bay Area, at least the weather's good.
For now, the rain's coming for 5 days. We're going to get ours.
We'll all get paid back. Well, hey, are we ready to bring on tonight's musical guest because we're very excited about this. And this is just fun that we've been able to find these musical guests. And hopefully we'll do this each and every week. And we'll bring these guys back, or ladies too. And listen, we're looking for talent. That's all we're doing. And tonight we're very excited. We want to bring in Brendan Pavlov from he's got a very cool story, a very good singer, and getting his career up and started. So let's bring his screen in. Look at that guy.
I love this.
Brendan, how are you?
Hey, Brendan.
Doing well.
So now you're in Michigan, huh?
I am. St. Clair, Michigan.
Wow. Did you lose a bet?
Did I lose a bet? No comment.
So
Wait a
you know,
minute.
he knows my daughter.
Let me ask a question. Hang on. I need to ask one thing. Is St. Clair, Michigan anywhere near Romeo?
It's east of Romeo. So yeah, it's in the area.
Okay.
about a half hour west of Juliet.
Thank you. With my go on.
So Brendan, first of all, how long you been playing? When did you learn how to play guitar?
I learned like age 9 or 10. I started picking it up, and I didn't really get serious with it until about 14 or 15.
Now, but you grew up in the age where you could probably learn most of the stuff on YouTube, huh?
I did, yeah. And I took lessons for a couple years, and then after that, it was mainly the self-taught stuff. So yeah, the YouTubers, exactly.
Well, there's so many things right now. Did you see Brian May from Queen was showing people on YouTube, teaching them how to do the Queen songs?
I have not seen that, but I have seen other artists do that. Like they'll show you how to play, their exact songs, but I'm going to have to tune into that one.
See, I mean, I think that's amazing. So now you started singing. When did you figure out that, okay, your family always thinks you're great. All right. That's what mamas do. Mama, everybody you've ever seen on a singing show that was truly horrible, their mother thought they were great. All right.
How to do the Queen
But
songs.
when did you figure out, when did it start, you start hearing more from other people that people really enjoyed your stuff? About what age did you start going, wow, I might be able to do this?
Probably around like 17 or 18. I think it was like senior year of high school. I was finishing up. I played 3 sports in high school, and I was finishing up my seasons in each of those. And that was right at the point where music started to come into my life a little bit more. And I just found myself just enjoying it a lot. And the more I got out there, the more positive response you get. And I just kind of got addicted to it, to be honest with you. Just getting up there, just show after show, keep plugging in and keep getting better.
Now you say you're a sports star. You know you played 3 sports. I'm the one who said you were a star.
Now you
Because
started
why
singing.
not? But one of the things we found in country music, there are so many singers right now that we play who were sports people, who played in college, who played professionally. Brett Young was a minor league pitcher. Matt Stell, who's on the charts right now, played college ball. You have so many people who have the guys in Florida Georgia Line play baseball. There's something about that sports mentality that's translating into music. Do you have any idea why?
I honestly don't. Some of those people you mentioned, like Florida Georgia Line, I had no idea that they played like baseball in college. And I don't know. The one thing I could compare it to is probably like the adrenaline rush, like running out there on a Friday night for like a Friday night football game. Like when I first started out, even getting up in like coffee shops and bars, like I'd have those, like that adrenaline rush. Like I can't wait to get up there. Like you were nervous. And if I could compare it to any aspect of sports, it'd probably be that.
Yeah. And the good news is the odds of somebody whizzing past some chin music is not going to be, it's not really high for you. So, the odds are low, which is nice. Are you ready to sing, my friend?
I am. Absolutely.
Okay. We got his first song because we thought we'd get it started with just a fun sing along. Come on, Brendan Pavlov and Wagon Wheel.
Headed down south to the land of the pines. I'm thumbing my way into North Carolina. Staring up the road and I pray to God I see headlights. made it down the coast in 17 hours, picking me a bouquet of dogwood flowers. And I'm hoping for Riley I can see my baby tonight. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Yeah, mama, rock me. Running from the cold up in New England, I was born to be a fiddler in an old-time string band. My baby plays the guitar, I pick the banjo now. Oh, the North Country winners kept getting me down. Lost my money playing poker, so I had to leave town. But I ain't turning back, living that old life no more. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Hey, mama, rock me. Walking to the south out of Roanoke, caught a trucker out of Philly, had a nice long talk. He's headed west from the Cumberland Gap to Johnson City, Tennessee, and I gotta get a move on for the sun. Hey, my baby calling my name, and I know that she's the only one. And if I die right, at least I will die free. So rock me, mama, like a wagon wheel. Rock me, mama, any way you feel. Hey, mama, rock me. Rock me, mama, like the wind and the rain. Rock me, mama, like a southbound train. Yeah, mama, rock me.
Brendan Pavlov. Brendan, thank you, man. I like that. That's a nice one. Always want to do a sing along to start off with. That's if I could sing, that's all I do is sing alongs because nobody wants to hear me sing.
That I could vouch for that.
Hey, quick question. And I just got a note here saying that there was something weird with the sound. Did you guys happen to catch that? Brian, are you hearing anything weird on that side?
Yeah, I think there's a little lag time there. There may be a lot of lag time there. So let's see if we can take a minute here and let the internet straighten itself out. And Brendan, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take you off screen here and see if it straightens itself out. And let's see if next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring on keep on just two people, and we're going to see if that helps a little bit. So yeah. There you go. That's the best I can do in Corona land.
Listen, in case you wonder if we taped this pre-hand.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what? It's like people may as well go instead of like, in radio, you're all supposed to just pretend nothing's wrong, but we're live and we don't have advertisers and we don't have a program director. So
You obviously haven't listened to a lot of my show, Raffi. I delight when things go wrong. In fact, I have the whole thing that I think I have the most fun when things mess up and it's nobody gets hurt, and that's the best thing about our job, isn't it? I mean, Raffi did radio for forever, and stuff. It is if I mess up, nobody dies.
That's right.
I'm not an airline pilot. I can mess up and it's all video good.
See, I just wonder what it's like for like Brian. Brian, you go up and speak. You know, you speak in front of what, hundreds and thousands of people at a time. It's like, do you ever sit there and go, I really can't have a bad day here. I mean, I can't go out and blow this, right?
You know what I speak about is being human.
Yeah.
So if I do blow it, I blame it on being human, and I show that as an example of what not to do. So I become my prime example.
See?
Have you ever blanked during a speech?
No.
Have you ever just went, and I can't remember what I'm going to say next?
Yeah. No, I blank more when I talk to people.
I'll share a story with you. This is when I think it was some big star or something like that. I want to say it was Trisha Yearwood, but I'm not sure. But she got up to sing one of her hits. This was years ago, and in the middle of the song, she blanked, and she could not remember the song at all. And it was, the whole point of the story is Steve Warner, who used to be a big star in the 80s and 90s, and he's just a great guy. She comes off stage and he goes, all right, it happens to everybody. Now here's what you need to know. It's going to happen 10 more times, and then you'll be over it, because your brain will function it in and go, okay, every time we're going to have performance anxiety, and then we're going to forget it. But once we get past, and he gave her this mythical number that he told me later was just mythical, 10 times. And then after the 10th time, you'll never forget it again, which is amazing when you think about the power of suggestion, right? And it worked. It worked. And it's so funny because you think that about singers all the time. And if you listen a lot of times, because I'll talk to guys and they'll sit back and go, oh yeah, if you listen, I'm making up words. You know, Luke Bryan's the king of it. Yeah. Country girl, shake it for me. And I can't remember the song. And now what we're going to have for dinner. But people are so wrapped up into everything else. He just knows a total pro just keeps going. And that's what they do.
It's so great.
Yeah.
It's so great.
That's how my wife describes me in life.
Oh,
just keep going. No matter how you screw up, just keep going. Really, I mean, is that the biggest and best lesson that we can teach our kids? You're going to mess up. Mm-hmm. As you say, it's part of being human. Yep. Just keep going. And what we're in right now, today's hard. Tomorrow might be better. May not, but the odds are. And listen to for those who tuned it in, Brian and I've had so many conversations about this. If you ever get a chance to have a conversation with Brian Kramer, you really should, because he makes you look at yourself better than anybody else can, which is really, I mean, it's an amazing talent for someone to be able to take you and show you without it being offensive. Because most times you get your feelings hurt when you see who the real you is. Who the real you are. But Brian does it in such a way that he lets you hear your answers, which is pretty cool.
But we are all, if we answer things for others, we're never going to learn. Mm-hmm. We have to, as human beings, we innately need to come up with the answer ourselves. That's who we are. And I could tell you, we could all tell each other what to do, which is part of, we could go into a whole dialogue about that. But at the end of the day, each of us holds the answer. We're all creative and resourceful for what we need. And we all have the exact answer, but it takes us time to process. We need to process through what that is if we're going to get, at the end of the day, what we already know intuitively where we need to go, but get permission from ourselves and from other people to be able to get there. Right. And so that's what we all do with each other. We just don't realize it. I think.
Yeah, and you are spot on, Brian. You're absolutely right, and Gary, I agree with you. And just want to take a moment and say this moment's brought to you by AutoZone Power Steering Fluid. I just got them signed on as a sponsor while you guys were chatting away. It worked out on trade, so you guys will all get a bottle of power steering fluid. After the show. Okay?
I have always wanted to have an ad guy. I swear to God, I've always wanted to have a guy who comes on and goes, this was brought to you by. In all the years that I've done this, I've never had my designated ad guy. So This is awesome.
and Brandon's next song will be brought to you by AutoZone Power Steering Fluid. They're doing it for 2 songs.
All right. Should we bring him up?
Please, let's do.
If you want to, Brandon, do you drive a car?
I do.
What kind of car are you driving?
Dodge Avenger right now.
Okay, a Dodge Avenger. Let me know if you need any. I can get you probably an extra little case if you want. Okay.
So Brandon, part of your story, and we can share it with everyone, is last year you went through the whole casting situation with The Voice, didn't you?
I did.
Okay. Now that's fascinating for all of us because everybody sees the end product and stuff, but there is a big part of you doing so many parts to get to even on the show. So what's it like going through the casting? And you were telling me you started, you did your audition in Chicago?
I did. Yeah. I started out in Chicago, and I actually got a call from one of their casting producers, and it was like 2 days before they wanted me to audition. So it was like kind of a yes or no decision. I decided to take the chance, drove down there, and the first round of auditions, I was in front of like kind of the first round, like the casting team. So they go all over and they cast in different cities and such. So I had to perform in front of them, and then they put you on hold for a little while, and then they'll call you back and let you know whether you made it or not. So I was on hold for like 2.5 months, and then you get the call, and I was off to Hollywood, off to the next round, and that was just another adventure in itself. But that's kind of the process. And like you said, people don't realize, they don't see everything that goes on behind the scenes, but there's quite a few steps to take before you even see the backs of those chairs.
And the other side that I don't think a lot of people know, and I talk to this from people who run record companies, but also who've worked on those shows. Mm-hmm. They try to stone face you, don't they? They try not to let you know whether you did great or bad, because they don't want you to have any reaction. I mean, they don't want to feed into it. They don't want to go, wow, this person's great. Or they don't want to go, oh. They perfect the stone face, don't they?
Mm.
No,
my mom
absolutely
needs
right
to do that. She's probably watching right now.
You know, Brian's brother's a doctor, but they're proud of Brian too.
I did not know that.
Well, now everybody knows.
but I mean, what's that like when you sing for the people? I mean, they just sit there, don't they?
They do, yeah. And that first time in Chicago was my first time playing myself ever. So I was up there, just me and my acoustic guitar, and I get done with one song, and they kind of look at you and they go, okay, what do you got next? So just like you said, you don't know if you did good, you don't know if you did bad, you just got to keep rolling with it. So then you get done with 4 songs, and you just have your fingers crossed that you came off in a positive way. And lucky enough for me, it worked out that time.
Yeah, you get the okay, thank you.
Good.
Okay. And you get through singing your song. Okay, thank you. We'll be getting back into it. So, Raffi, what do you got?
Nothing.
I thought we were going to have another sponsor.
Well, if you want to know the truth, I was able to secure one more sponsor during this whole thing. I was able to get Rite Aid to do a special deal clearance on icicle lights for Christmas, and you can never celebrate and get ready too soon. Because, I mean, can somebody look and see how many days we are till the holidays? Like, Brian, can you check on that and tell us? You're Mr. Know-It-All. I mean, this is a special deal set. Gary, in fact, I'll bring these to your house and set them up for you, too.
Please stay outside. Wipe them down before you do that, if you would. Brandon, are you ready to sing again?
Yeah. Let's
Sorry, was I supposed to ask a music question?
Yeah, you can ask anything you want.
You had all the good stuff, so it's perfect. That's excellent. So, and let the talent really show. Let Brandon sing. I'll sit over here and eat my buffalo wings.
Your buffalo wings.
Brandon, are you ready to kick up a little Van Morrison?
Let's do it.
Hey, where did we go? Days when the rains came down in the hollow, playing a new game, laughing and a running, hey, hey, skipping and a jumping in the misty morning fog with our hearts were thumping, and you, my brown-eyed girl, you, my brown-eyed girl. Whatever happened to Tuesday and so slow, going down to the old mine with a transistor radio, standing in the sunlight laughing, hiding behind a rainbow's wall, slipping and a sliding all along that waterfall with you, my brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da, just like that. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da, la-dee-da. So hard to find my way now that I'm all on my own. Saw you just the other day, my, how you have grown. Cast my memory back there, Lord. Sometimes I'm overcome thinking about it, making love in the green grass behind the stadium with you, my brown-eyed girl. You, my brown-eyed girl. Do you remember when we used to sing sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da, la-dee-da, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da. One more time. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-la-dee-da, la-dee-da.
Yay!
I'm so glad the video worked so much better because you need to hear how well that guy can sing.
That was
Oh, yeah.
awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely
I'm glad
agree
you
with you
did.
big time.
I-
Hey,
That
Brandon,
was awesome.
Brandon, question for you, bud.
Yes.
First song you ever learned. I asked this question last week to David Brookings, who was on with us. So, first song you ever learned to play, and do you remember the first song you ever wrote, and can you still play it? Can you still sing it?
Oh boy. First song I ever learned to play was "Rockin' Me" by the Steve Miller Band.
Keep on a rockin'.
Look at down, down.
There you go.
And then what's the first song? What's the first song you learned or wrote and played?
The first song I wrote. I'll give you the answer now. I definitely can't play it. I don't remember it. For some reason, like the songs I wrote a lot of songs in like middle school and high school, and the lyrics always stick, but the chord progressions, I can't put two and two together there.
All right, give us some lyrics. Give us some lyrics. Go.
Oh, good,
A
good
middle
Lord.
school. Give me some fun middle school lyrics. Let's hear them.
Oh, jeez. You're honestly gonna have to give me a minute there.
Right here. Hey, Brandon, here's what we'll do. You think, and while we're blathering on, because we have a handful of people who are commenting, so you think for a minute, and then we're going to say hi to some friends who are watching and listening. How about that? Does that work for you?
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. Sounds good to me.
You got to think quickly now.
Okay, Brandon's
right.
thinking. He's doing that.
He's in deep thought. So here's something. Brian or Gary, do you know Marisa from Puerto Vallarta?
Yes, we do. That is the
Oh.
lady that takes our pictures every time we go to Puerto Vallarta. She is the best photographer for sunset pictures at the top of the Panorama Hotel
The Panorama in PV?
in PV.
Go ahead. That's your next sponsor, Raffi. You got to say it.
I'm already on it. .com.
I miss Mexico. I love Mexico.
Oh.
We love going down. We go to Cabo, and my kids are just starting to get old enough where they really enjoy it. And we go to an all inclusive resort. And the most fun is now the kids are realizing they don't need our permission when it comes to eating. So it's like all of a sudden you'll see one walk by with a bacon wrapped hot dog, and you're like.
And you guys go to a all you can eat, right?
Oh, well, it's all inclusive.
All inclusive, yeah.
Right. So, and that's we went. My mother-in-law went, and we took the father-in-law, and she kept getting to-go boxes, and I'm like, Kayla, maybe you don't understand the concept of what we're doing here.
So, hey, if you guys next time you're in PV, either of you. You need to go to a restaurant. It's called Barcelona Tapas. It's up.
I know what you're talking about.
Yep, it's on top of the hill. You can't see my arm right now, but it's on top of the hill, overlooking the bay. And there's amazing food, great service. It's such a cool place. Been going there with our friends for a number of years now, and just what a great find, great people. And then if you're looking for a good dessert, go. There's a churro place called Churro Romantica or something like that, and it's lights out, amazing churros. So
you will
for
want
no
some
other
churro.
reason, go to that place and you're dialed.
But is there any alcohol down there? Because that's can you find any in Puerto Vallarta?
No,
No,
nothing at all.
No.
Have you met my wife?
Tri-County, is that?
Oh my God!
So real quick, because I said we'd do this earlier in the show, I asked you a couple of things. If you have any shows that you recommend, you don't have to give me a lot, but just now, I'll start it off as far as Netflix. Because we've already talked about, I like the killer, right, stuff. So my wife can't watch anything like that. My wife's idea of violence is Mayberry RFD. That's about as tough as she can get, right?
Oh, there's an old reference for our 74-year-old listeners.
Exactly
viewers.
Right. Listen, I got them all. You need to know about Mannix. If you need to know about Canon, I'm all over it. But so she doesn't like any of that stuff. So when she goes to bed and I've got the Netflix to myself, I watch this show called I Am a Killer, and they interview people who have been convicted of murder in prison. And it is, I cannot turn it off. It's a series. And to hear them tell their story, right? Oh, this happened. And then they go and interview the prosecutors and the family. And a lot of times it's like, no, that's not what happened. And then they go back and they talk to the killer 3 months later, and they're like, well, okay, I see their point of view on that story and stuff like that. But every now and then you'll get some fascinating things. So yeah,
This is on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. It's called I Am a Killer, and it's amazing.
Wow.
Can I give you my plug for a TV show on Netflix or series?
Yes.
It's believe it or not, it's called F1 Drive to Survive. It's Formula One racing.
Yeah.
But it's all the behind the scenes and cameras in the cars and and you hear everything, the conversations from the car to the team coach, all the different stuff going on. It is there's 2 seasons and I've watched both of them, and it is so awesome.
It is a good show. I've watched it, and the best thing about it, the real rivalries, the people who hate each other the most, are teammates.
That's right. That's right.
They cut each other all the time. They're constantly like, one guy literally wrecked his teammate. They were first and second going to the finish line, and he wrecked his teammate so he wouldn't win, and they both ended up not placing.
That's right. Just like
they were teammates.
Unreal.
It is amazing. That's a great show.
Yeah. Watch,
okay, Brian.
Speaking of getting the kills, I think it's time to listen to some music.
Oh, come on.
The hour goes quick. Let's bring back Brandon.
Let's bring him back. And then Raffi, I think it's time for you to go find another sponsor because we're running out of sponsorship. Brandon, are you ready?
This segment brought to you by Hyperbole. Treats for your cat. Anyway.
Brandon. All right. So we've got another song coming up here. We've got Getting Old With You. And today, Brandon is debuting this song for the very first time. Written, produced, sung by Brendan. Are you ready?
I am ready.
Here we go.
Sweeter than a sunrise, picture perfect in my eyes. I've climbed the highest mountain to get to you. Feeling down, feeling lonely, till you came upon me and showed me how to be happy again. And I'm only getting older. Might lose some friends, go through all this again, but I'll be getting older. I'll be getting old with you. With you. Here for all the good times, closer through the bad, turns the dark days to sunlight. Best I've ever had, even though I ain't perfect. My flaws get in the way. You need to know that I love you more and more each day. I'm only getting older. Might lose some friends, go through all this again, but I'll be getting older. I'll be getting old with you. With you. When it's time to meet the Lord in heaven, thank the Lord above for all that I've been given. Though the journey's over, I might be out of time. Spend my days and nights with the girl that I call mine. And I'm only getting older. Might lose some friends, go through all this again, but I'll be getting older. I'll be getting old with you. With you. With you. With you.
like that. I like it a lot.
Wow.
Original music for Brandon Pavlov. You know one of the things I like about your voice, Brandon. It's this is just me being a technical geek because I love singers. I love how what you have what I call delayed vibrato. That the vibrato comes in right at the end of the note, and that is such a hard thing. I don't even know if you can teach it. Sometimes I think it's just a natural thing the way your body works, and I love that. It's a rare find to me. And it sounds really, really good in what
Thank
you're
you.
doing.
How did that feel, Brendan, to put that out? That was the first time that you had a chance to actually play that for I think first time for public, right?
Yeah, first time for the public. Yeah, it felt good. It's been a long time coming, just in terms of writing songs. I mean, I just got out of college, and I think if anything, I mean, with everything that's going on in the U.S. and the world right now, I've just had more time to kind of take a step back, take a breather, and I've tried to focus in on just writing more songs, putting out more content. So, I'm hoping the virus ends and we can get back to normal life, but you got to find a way to keep yourself busy. And for me, it was just, digging in, writing more songs and putting more content out there. So yeah, I'm happy. And
Well,
thank you guys again.
Brandon, it's funny. I was going to listen to that song yesterday because I was on your page and I'm like, oh, I can't listen to it until I think it was like later at night or in the morning or something.
Yeah.
So I popped on this morning and listened to it. And I'm like, oh man, what a great song. I was like totally stoked. And I was already, it's funny. I was humming the melody as you were playing. I only listened to the song once, but I was humming the melody already. And someone just wrote, in fact, John, it says Holowati. I hope I said his name correctly. Wrote, wow. We heard this on YouTube earlier and loved it. Didn't know it was all you. Awesome. So there you go. See?
Great.
It's really cool that nowadays that you can actually get your music out to the public on your own. The beautiful thing about this and the fact that even before this coronavirus and us doing this social stuff like this, you still had the avenue to get your music out and that people can discover you. And we in radio, we it's amazing now because we have so many times, as we talked about last week, where people bring us new acts. And it's got to be such an exciting time for you. Of course, you're still young enough. Screw you, young people. That you're still young enough that this is all you've ever known, really, isn't it?
Pretty much. Yeah. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I got into it young. I mean, my dad always used to tell me, he's like, just don't give that thing up. Just keep playing it. Cause trust me, it's going to pay off. And here I am 23 years old and I've been in it doing it for at least 8 or 9 years. And he was definitely right.
What did you major in?
Kinesiology. I went to Michigan State University, graduated last May.
Nice. And of course, now one thing you can't do is touch anybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so maybe focusing more on the music right now is the best thing. I can be by myself and just write my songs.
Well, we've got some more music because that's the one cool thing is we want to make this a showcase for you. Plus, everybody likes singing, and you're in Michigan. You're required to learn this artist's song. I think I remember first time I talked to Keith Urban, I asked him if there was an Olivia Newton-John mafia. Does he owe 10% of all his earnings to Olivia Newton-John because she's from Australia? And this, if there's a Michigan mafia, you owe 10% of all your earnings to this guy. We're talking Bob Seger, but first it's brought to you by.
Thank you. It's brought to you by Pyroil Penetrating Oil. 20% more in this can. Special deal offer going on at Craigan's.
And I realize this is a family show, but why does it have to be penetrating oil?
Oh, did you have to go there? Brian?
I'm just asking.
Well, it's just penetrating oil. Please.
Yes, it's Brian. He did have to go there.
Of course he did. Oh, boy.
Let's get our Seger on, as in Bob Seger.
Yes.
Are y'all ready? Night moves.
Let's do it.
past the cornfields where the woods got heavy. Out in the back seat, a 60 Chevy. Working on mysteries without any clues. Working on a night moves. Trying to make some front page driving news.
Hey, Brandon, I'm doing that thing where I cut in the middle of a live. Hold on, buddy. I know it's weird. It's like, who is this guy? He's cutting into my song. I so want people to hear this. And here's the thing: the internet is like not my favorite person right now. So I want people to hear it. And by me just being with you right now, yes, I like you, and I think we should have a conversation. But I think we also I'm helping the internet straighten itself out. So now I'm going to go back off again, and I really want people to hear the music because you are killing it. What we're hearing on our side, and so I'm going to go back off and have you start again. I'm so sorry to do this to you, but I want everybody to hear you.
No worries. You want me to go from the beginning?
Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready to go.
I do, because I really want everyone to hear you. I mean, this is just magic what you're putting out there, but by not having all four of us on here, it's going to be even better. So here we go. Ready?
Okay, perfect.
Go for it.
Here we go.
A little too tall, could have used a few pounds. Tight pants points, hardly renowned. She was a black cat beauty with big dark eyes. Points all her own, sitting way up high. Way up firm and high. Out past the cornfields where the woods got heavy. Out in the back seat of my 60 Chevy. Working on mysteries without any clues. Working on a night moves. Trying to make some front page driving news. Working on a night moves. Summertime. Ooh. In the sweet summertime. We weren't in love, oh no, far from it. We weren't searching for some pie in the sky something. We were just young and restless and bored, living by the sword. And we'd steal away every chance we could. The back rooms, alleys, and trusty woods. I used her, she used me, but neither one cared. We were getting our share. Working on a night moves. Trying to lose those awkward teenage blues. Working on a night moves. Ooh. Summertime. Ooh. Yeah. In the sweet summertime. Whoa, I wonder. Felt the lightning, yeah. Waited on the thunder. Waited on the thunder. I woke last night to the sound of thunder. How far off I sat and wondered. Started humming a song from 1962. Ain't it funny how the night moves? When you just don't seem to have as much to lose. Strange how the night moves. With autumn closing in.
I knew you were going to kill that song. You just have the perfect voice for that song. You really do.
Guys, turn it down.
Gee whiz. I'm sorry. My family decided they were just going to like turn it up as loud as it could possibly go. It's like on 90 right now.
What are they playing?
We are. I don't know. I think it's a movie, but I think they decided to go 11. You know, so they the Spinal Tap 11 it. It's like I promise I only have 3 more minutes. Please just give me 3 minutes.
Dude, hey, Brandon, you crushed it, man. You crushed it. And the comments are yeah. I mean, I'm sitting here looking at some of the comments. It's it says so much respect for this artist. Awesome. So much talent. Where'd the other one go? Oh, shoot. There was a whole bunch here. Sounds really great. Way to go, Brandon. Amazing voice. Amazing voice. Killed that song from Joe. This is great. And we're really super stoked that you were able to join us here today, man. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, thanks again for having me, you guys. It's been I've had a great time.
Well, we hope you'll make a return visit. But hopefully
I would love to.
We won't have much need for this in just a few weeks, maybe a month. That's what we're hoping. But at some point, we'd like to bring back. Yeah, it's thank you for sharing your talent. Thanks for entertaining people you certainly didn't have to. And yeah, look the young man up, Brendan Pavlov. Look him up, find his song, buy the song, and enjoy it. And it's going to be interesting to see where your future takes you, buddy. It's going to be interesting.
Where is it available? Where is it available?
Right now, so it's not going to be available until May 1st. So there's something through like iTunes and the music platforms where it has to take like 14 days to get approved. So we put out the acoustic version today, and it's going to be available on Apple Music and Spotify. I think the 1st of May.
Wow. Congratulations.
Tell them the name of your song again.
It's called Getting Old With You. And you can head to my Facebook page, Brandon Pavlo, Branden in Brandon. Or you can head to my YouTube channel, and that's also Brandon Pavlo. And you can check out my acoustic version that was just uploaded today.
That's where I saw it this morning.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you, Brandon, for taking us home today. And as always, love co-hosting with these guys. Thank you guys again for joining us. And we'll be back again. I think we're doing this again next week, aren't we? We got somewhere to be.
Yes.
I sure hope so. Hey, Brian, and let me just say props to Brian Kramer for quarterbacking this thing for us every week, because I think Gary and I would probably be a complete and utter disaster. This show would really, really just sound like a train wreck. And thank goodness we have one person who can hold this thing together for us.
I'm happy to be your glue.
Yeah.
Amen.
Hey, Gary, let me ask you something. Who, when you're on the air at KRTY, I'm going to give you a little plug here. Mornings, what time are you on? Is it 6? Are you on doing 6?
Well, we usually do 5 to 9, but my boss said, well, you don't have to come until 6 now because nobody's going to work. But we found that a lot of people are still going to work, like especially nurses and hospital people. So we start the show at 5:30. So we're doing 5:30 to 9 right now. So
okay,
great.
So
and
95.3 KRTY.
That's
and
it.
Rafi, how about you? How about you?
No, wait a minute. No. I'm going to you first, pal. You're our guy. So hype it up. Where can we find out more about Brian Kramer?
I work at Sound in Motion. You can go to soundinmotion.com where we do events, weddings, anything you need. That's where I am.
Okay.
That's what I'll do.
You want me to be you?
Yeah, you be me.
Okay, I'm Brian Kramer. I'm one cool.
And that's a show. Thank you all for coming.
Oh, hey.
Thank you all.
Awesome, you guys.
All
Hey,
right, we'll see you guys soon.
Weekend.
Cheers, my friend.
All right.